Dear all, please rise and welcome our esteemed dignitaries, Honorable Justice N. Santhosh Hegde, Honorable President, N.E.S. of Karnataka, Dr. H.N. Subrahmanya, Honorable Secretary V. Venkateshiva Reddy, Honorable Chairman Dr. P.L. Venkatrama Reddy, esteemed Principal Dr. H.N. College of Engineering, and Principal of National College Jayanagar, Dr. C. Vijayalakshmi. A very good morning to everyone present here. Social values are the backbone of any society, shaping our communications, relationships, and collective well being. However, in today's rapidly changing world, we are witnessing a significant decline in these values. This change affects not only individuals but also communities and society as a whole. In light of this pressing issue, the Department of Journalism has organized a talk and interaction program focusing on this topic. So let us begin the program with a prayer song. I would welcome our prayer team onto the stage.
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्र मरुतः
स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्त्र्यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नमस्ते सते ते जगत्कारणाय नमस्ते चिते सर्वलोकाश्रयाय नमो द्वैततत्त्वाय मुक्तिप्रदाय नमो ब्रह्मणे व्यापिने शाश्वताय त्वमेकं शरण्यं त्वमेकं वरेण्यं त्वमेकं जगत्पालकं स्वप्रकाशं त्वमेकं जगत्कातृपातृप्रहर्तृ त्वमेकं परं निश्चलं निर्विकल्पं वयं त्वां स्मरामो वयं त्वां भजामः वयं त्वां जगत्साक्षिरूपं नमामः सदेकं निदाळं निराळं भविष्यं भवान् बोधिपोतं शरण्यं व्रजामः योऽग्न प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ता सञ्जीवयत्न किल शक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यान् च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वदादि प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव सर्वे च सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्.
Thank you for that beautiful start. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. C. Vijayalakshmi, our respected principal, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning, one and all present here. It's my pleasure to see you all here for a talk and interaction on fallen social values and its consequences, organized by the Department of Journalism. First of all, I extend a cordial welcome to Dr. H. Subrahmanya, the President of N.E.S. of Karnataka. It's with great honor and pleasure that I welcome our esteemed former Judge of Supreme Court of India, Justice Sri N. Santhosh Hegde, to give a talk on fallen social values and its consequences. Your presence has added grace to the occasion, sir. We are very keen to seek benefit from your experiences and knowledge. We are very honored to have with us today Sri V. Venkata Reddy, Honorary Secretary of N.E.S. of Karnataka. I am delighted to welcome Sri P.L. Venkatram Reddy, the Chairman of National College, Jayanagar. I would like to welcome Dr. Jayadevappa, Principal of Dr. H.N. National College of Engineering. I also would like to welcome Principal of National College, PU, Professor Mamata on this occasion. My heartfelt welcome to Professor Cheluvappa, College Council Secretary of National College, Jayanagar on this occasion. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Vaishali, Head of the Department of Journalism, who played a pivotal role in organizing this program. I would like to welcome all the teaching faculty members, those who had attended this program. I welcome all my beloved students for an interactive session. I am confident that this interactive session with the chief guest of today's event will be a valuable learning experience for all of us here, because Sir's life itself is a book of values. And values are not taught, they're always caught. So sir is going to just give give the details of his experience, and he is going to inculcate some values among all our students. Thank you one and all present here. I also welcome Sir Kumaramurthy, Governing Council member, who came now on this occasion. Thank you one and all present here.
Thank you, ma'am. A hearty welcome to you too. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Vaishali HB, Head of Department of Journalism, to introduce our distinguished chief guest.
It's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished chief guest. Justice N. Santhosh Hegde is a renowned Indian jurist born on June 16, 1940 in Nitte village, Udupi district, Karnataka. He studied at St. Aloysius School, Bengaluru and Christian School, Chennai before graduating law from Government Law College, Bengaluru in 1965. Justice Hegde began his career by joining the bar in January 1966 and was appointed as Advocate General in February 1984, later becoming Senior Advocate in May 1984. Throughout his illustrious career, Hegde held various esteemed positions, including Additional Solicitor General of India, Solicitor General of India, and Judge of the Supreme Court of India. He also served as Lokayukta of Karnataka State from 2006 to 2011, where he played a crucial role in exposing corruption cases, including the Bellary mining scam. Justice Hegde has received numerous awards and honors for his contributions to the field of law and his anti-corruption efforts, including honorary doctorates from several universities and the NDTV Indian of the Year Award in 2010. Justice Hegde is known for his strong stance against corruption, and no doubt he is a superhero in the world of Indian law. It's our honor to have you with us today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vaishali HB, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Dr. H.N. Subrahmanya, Honorable President, N.E.S. of Karnataka, to release our campus newspaper, the NCJ Times, along with a class interview magazine edited by the students of journalism. Keep the claps rolling, students. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we all have been eagerly awaiting the highlight of today's program. I would like to invite the chief guest, Justice N. Santhosh Hegde sir, former judge, the Supreme Court of India, and former Lokayukta of Karnataka, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to you all. President of this morning's function, respected Dr. H.N. Subrahmanya. The dignitaries in the dais, Sri Venkat Shiva Reddy, Kumaran Murthy, Sri V. Dr. Jayadevappa, Dr. P.L. Venkatram Reddy, Dr. Vaishali, Professor Chelvappa, Dr. Sri Vijay Lakshmi, other dignitaries in the dais, members of the teaching and non-teaching staff present here, most importantly, my dear students. I deem it an honor to be present in this function this morning, a function which I like, especially being organized in educational institutions. There's a reason for it. I worked in many positions, but after I came to the institution of Karnataka Lokayukta, I often felt till then I was a frog in the well. I did not know the sufferings of the people. I was comfortable. I thought most people are comfortable in this country. Working in Lokayukta for a very short period itself taught me the realities of life. I saw sufferings of the people, that too from the hands of people working in departments created under the Constitution of India to serve them. Serve the people, I mean. I was wondering why this was happening. Then I realized the fault doesn't lie with the individuals. It lies with the society in which we are. When I was young, the society is to recognize people who did good work in the society and honored them. People who did the contrary were punished in its own way. For example, if anybody in my village was sentenced to jail imprisonment, my parents would tell me, don't go near that house. That was a punishment not given by any court of law, but it was a social boycott which affected the reputation not only of the person who was was guilty of the offense, but other members of the family also. Consequently, very few people were indulging in such mistakes, and there was peace and solidarity in the society. Over the decades, things have changed very much. Today's society respects only money and power and nothing else. Consequently, there is a mad race in the society to inherit wealth or acquire wealth. irrespective of the modus operandi used to get that wealth. People don't follow the principles involved in the law. They are only interested in making money, and that too in the quickest possible way. Therefore, in the society, there is a change in the attitude of the people. Because the society respects money and power, people want to be in that category. They purchase power, get into job, and if they are caught, very often they are heard saying, I didn't come here free. Bitti bandilre, kottu bandidene. Similar is the attitude when it comes to making money or buying power. My dear students, the values in the society are totally lost today. Consequently, there is no peace in the society. Any reason is good enough to create chaos in the society. And your life is not likely to be as pleasant as what was mine when I was a child. Think of it, how to live in a society where money is the only consideration and the position is only to acquire money and not to serve. The reason now prevailing is a disease called greed. This disease has no treatment. It's not afraid of law. For example, in China, the sentence for corrupt people is death sentence. In India, it's only 7 years. That 7 years also comes after 50 years of court proceedings. In 2016, Transparency International, a German organization which assesses the honesty value of the countries, found China was more corrupt than India, even though it had death sentence. The greed is not afraid of death. It wants to make money as much as possible, however much as possible. Let me give you an outside view of the growth of greed in this country. In the decade of 50s, hundreds of scams took place in the decade in this country. One of them I'll give as an example is the Jeep scam. In purchasing Jeep vehicles for our soldiers from Great Britain, Government of India's officials, some of them, swindled 52 lakhs of rupees. A decade later, I don't have the time to tell you about all the scams that have taken place. A decade later, there was a scam called Bofors in importing weapons for our soldiers from Sweden. Country lost 64 crores of rupees. Then came a scam called Commonwealth Games. Country lost 70,000 crores. 70,000 crores in one scam. Every decade has thousands of scams nowadays. Imagine how much money would have been siphoned off in 1 year if you calculate the money that is taken away from this scam. Then came a scam called 2G. Country lost 1,76,000 crores. Then came a scam called Colgate. Country lost 1,86,000 crores. Then Rafael and so forth. How much money really goes for development with so much of money siphoned off in the contract? One contract, so much siphoned off. If all the money that is siphoned off in all contracts taken into account, how much will it be? The answer came from none other than one of our former Prime Minister, late Rajiv Gandhi, who, while speaking publicly in Mysore, made a public statement in 1985 that in that decade, out of 1 rupee government gave for development, only 15 paise reached the target. We are in 2025. The greed has not come down. How much do you think would have lost? Out of 100 rupees, would 15 paise go today? We have read in the papers one political party blaming another political party of being 40% government. An inquiry committee headed by a High Court judge has found this allegation to be true recently. Imagine out of a contract costing 1 crore, if 40% is to be paid as bribe in the first stage itself, 40 lakhs goes, only 60 lakhs remains. Then the contractor must make some money. He keeps, let's say, 30 lakhs, that becomes 70 lakhs gone. Out of the project for 1 crore, you get a project done at 30 lakhs. What sort of a contract would it be? Imagine importing of drugs for saving lives. And there are scams in that line also. So what type of a drug that's are being used in treating people in this country? My dear students, think of the cost, inflation in cost. When I was going to school in 50s, 1 gallon of petrol, which is 4.5 liters, was 12 annas. 12 annas means 3 annas per liter. Today, 1 liter is 105 rupees. In 1970s, when I went first time abroad, $1 was 4 rupees 50 paise. Today, it's come down to 85. Today's paper said it's come down to 85. But 4 rupees 50 paise to 85 rupees. Look at the inflation. What is the purchase value of the rupee? If you want to buy something from United States, how much you have to pay? Of course, anytime you point this out to a man in administration, he'll say, look at Pakistan, it is $300 rupees a liter. Who wants to know what is happening in Pakistan? We want to know what's happening in this country. My dear students, I'm not a politician. I, in my mining report, in one report, named 3 chief ministers of Congress, JDS and BJP. I believe in democracy. I know in democracy politics is a very important field. But I want politics to be a service and not a profession. My father was in politics in the 1950s. He didn't have 1 rupee salary. His expenses from the constituency was paid till he went to Delhi. His stay was paid for. Food was supplied at concessional rate. Then nothing paid. Because it is not a full-time job. Constitution contemplates 3 pillars. The legislature, which is not a permanent job, which today's contest works for 120 days in a year, like assemblies also. Then the executive, they are the real administrators, having high qualification, being chosen by high power committees. Then judiciary to settle the disputes. But today, the most preferred choice of any youngster, unlike my days when it was engineering or medical, my parents would say, become a doctor, become an engineer. But today, parents say, become a politician. Because you read, of all the things today I was reading in the papers, of their salary being increased without discussion in the house. And this is one job which has got 2 salaries. Monthly salary for working for 120 days. And for those 120 days, if you go and sit there, you get sitting fees. Then why do you get the full salary? I was a judge of the Supreme Court. They didn't pay me sitting fees. This is how we have accepted the things that are going on in this country, my dear students. Anyway, rehearse the things and all. I'm not talking about the fall in social values. The values which our forefathers intended to bring peace and solidarity in the society is totally erased. You want to be what the society expects you to be, that is, a rich person in a powerful post. Honesty has no meaning. People call the honest people useless chap. He doesn't take, he doesn't allow others to take. But what is the consequences, my dear students? Inflation is going so beyond our control. Salaries are increased only in numbers, but it has no value. A judge of the Supreme Court till 1975 was drawing only 4,000 rupees salary. Today, of course, he draws about 2.5 lakhs because that value, rupee value, is not there. How can the nation prepare itself for providing so much income unless they provide currency notes only? Then there will be no peace and solidarity in the society. What's the way out? I have tried to study the possible ways out from this. There is no law which can control it. There is no medicine for greed. The only way out is what our elders had established centuries back in the society, called contentment in the society, or in vernacular, a word, tripti. You don't have to buy this tripti from any medical shop. You have to inculcate that value and understand what it is. And contentment brings complete satisfaction in life. It doesn't mean that when you get a degree, get a job, you become a sannyasi and because you want to be content in life. No. You must have ambition. Ambition to become somebody rich. Ambition to become somebody big. But the path you take is the most important one. That's the legitimate path. Legitimately earned income, however much it is, could be crores and crores. It's not a product of sin. Otherwise, it is. You'll never ever be happy with all that money you can make by illegally. Recently, I saw about a few months back a news item in the television. A member of parliament was raided and they found 252 crores of rupees bundled up and kept in the cupboard. All taken away, seized by the ED, Enforcement Department. How will you feel? Even if you are not raided, you are afraid of being raided, and every day it is in a tension. You can't sleep without sleeping medicine. Don't ever think illegal wealth brings happiness. No. You may be happy to be received as a VIP. Beyond that, you will personally have no happiness. I've seen people from close quarters. I have followed that life. Otherwise, by now I would have been in jail. Having indicted 3 chief ministers, 8 ministers, more than 150 officers. My dear students, contentment gives you happiness. That's why that can now be inculcated at the youngest possible age. But who will do it? When I was young, my parents used to tell me the do's and don'ts of life. If I made a mistake, I was corporally punished. When I went to school, there was a subject called Niti Pata, moral science, which reiterated what my parents told me. Today, most of the parents are working class. Work itself is a disease, according to me. You must get a high posting there. You must get promotions. You want to prove to your boss you are capable of doing that job and you are qualified for promotion and a good posting. So you bring the headache home. You work on your office work in the house with laptop or tabletop or whatever it is. Those parents who do not go to work will be watching a serial in the TV. And children are given an iPhone who can afford. An iPhone has nothing good in it. My dear students, when you go to school or college, there is no subject called moral science anymore. You have subjects which make you a billionaire, but values don't make you a billionaire. But what is the consequences? Read the papers, what's happening in the society today. Please don't ever think that why I alone can change this society. No, I can't. No, it's not so. You change, others will change too. It will take time. I know what I'm doing. I am 85 plus. And this is my 1873rd educational institution I'm visiting at this age of mine. Not for any benefits. I want to share with you my experience in life and what exactly is happening and what could be the consequences. The greed, when it reaches a certain stage, it develops conflict. Conflict may start in a small way, in a small locality, but it may end up in a revolution. In revolution, there is no winner. Think of your children. Where will they go? What will be the political situation in the country? Don't think another country is more peaceful than our country and it's more lucrative than our country. No. We have been watching what's happening. I don't want to comment on that as yet because things are just developing. My dear students, I'll give you a few examples of my experience in Karnataka Lokayukta and try and understand what exactly is happening. Before that, there is a need for another value apart from contentment in life. That is humanism. We all think we are born human beings. No. There is no species called human beings. There is a species called Homo sapiens, which has nothing to do with humanism. You become a human being if you have humanism in you. Our poets, local poets have written in Kannada, I'll mention it and I'll translate it. Ene agu. Ene agu, ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದವನಾಗು, ಆದರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಮಾನವನಾಗು. Become what you want to become in life, but become a human being first. In that line of thinking, every time I go to school or college, I have my own message to be conveyed. Even though not born as a human being in a journey of your life, if you acquire humanism and exhibit it, then die as a human being, there is no better glory than that. ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಮಾನವನಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟದೇ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಜೀವನ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾನವೀಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಸಾಯುವಾಗ ಮಾನವನಾಗಿ ಸತ್ತರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಗೌರವ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ. You have nothing to forego except foregoing illegal activities. Contentment really means being happy with what you legitimately have. At any point of time, if you feel disappointed that you worked hard, you didn't get that benefit, what somebody else got it, then don't ever compare yourself with somebody above you. Just turn back and look behind you and see how many millions are behind you. Born without eyesight, born with physical disabilities, born without 2 meals a day. You're far off, better than them. Don't ever get into depression. That's the worst disease you can get into. Have ambition, but ambition legal and approachable. My dear students, in 2008, a tailor and his wife brought a 6-month-old child to my office. I asked them, what's the problem? They said, this child looks perfectly all right, but it has no rectum. It eats through the mouth and defecates through the mouth. The local doctor said, don't worry, take the child to a specialty hospital. The pediatric surgeon will rectify the deficiency. Believing that, they took the child to a government medical college hospital. The pediatric surgeon examines the child and says, I'll do everything perfect, but it will cost you some money. Money is not expenses, but bribe. Parents knew that such things are happening in the society, so they had borrowed some money and taken it and kept that money in front of the doctor. The doctor counts the money and says, for this money, I'll make a hole near the rib cage from where the fecal matters will go out. Child will have no control over the fecal matters movement. Child has to wear a bag throughout life to collect the fecal matters. What sort of a doctor? He must have prayed to God, give me education, make me a doctor, make me a pediatric surgeon, get me a government job. God gave everything. Gets a huge salary, 9 lakhs. It is his duty to do that free, but the greed didn't allow him. Fortunately for the child, the parents didn't agree. They took their money back, brought the child to Lokayukta, Bengaluru. We took the child to old Manipal Hospital, Airport Road, Manipal Hospital, where my treatment was going on, and begged the authorities, or rather the administration, to do the job free because we didn't have money to pay. The hospital did it, and the child was perfect. Ever since that, for the child's birthday, they would FaceTime with me, with the child, and ask me to bless her. Do you know how happy I feel? For that matter, anybody would feel happy. That child was brought to my house in October last, a 16-year-old child now. She is in SSLC. Absolutely no deficiency. When she came to my house, she told me that she wants to do her IAS or IPS. I said, yes, but don't ever forget what happened to you. She said, no, I will never ever do such things. Imagine a 16-year-old girl, or maybe older, wearing a bag and going merely because of the greed of a doctor. He is paid handsomely. Similarly, in 2010, an old lady, 85 years old, came to me. Said, sir, I have no income. I have one son working in Mumbai. He money orders me 250 rupees every month. That is all I get for my life. The postman wants 10% of that. I wanted to help that lady, but I couldn't because the postman didn't come within my jurisdiction. He was a central government employee. I contacted a senior IPS officer who deals with central government officials and told him the problem. During our conversation, he must have calculated 250 rupees, 10%, 25 rupees. He straight away told to my face, sir, 25 rupees case. My officers are investigating crores and crores of scams. I have no officers for 25 rupees. What do I do? Ask that lady to go to the court? I called my police officers and told them the problem. They said, don't worry, sir, we will not break any law. We will solve the problem. 3 months later, that lady comes, sheds the tears, but not of sorrow, of happiness, and said, sir, problem is solved. I said, what happened? I don't know, sir, he doesn't ask for it anymore, he just gives and goes. So I called the police officers and find out. He said, sir, we spoke to them in our language. End of the matter, but others still suffer it, but this lady's problem is gone. ಎಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಆ 85 ವರ್ಷದ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥ 250 ರೂಪಾಯಲ್ಲಿ 25 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಂಬಳ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಂಥ ಮಾನವರು. ಆದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅವ್ರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. We are so self-centered. We are not bothered about another person. ಮಾನವೀಯತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? In 2011, In the outskirts of Bengaluru, a youngster called Harish Nanjappa, 28-year-old chap, was riding a motorbike. There was a lorry coming from the back which had a punctured front wheel. It runs over the motorcyclist and the rim cuts the body into two pieces. But he was still alive. There are a number of people who were photographing, videographing. He asked them for a little water. Nobody gave. Ambulance came. The body, pieces of the bodies were put in the ambulance. He was still alive. He told the staff to tell the doctor to donate his eyes. Look at the contradiction in terms. ಸಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೇನು ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ. None of these are made stories made for your purpose. All these are recorded and is there. And so far as the second case is concerned, the ZTV had a program in which his mother was given posthumous award to that person, Harish Nanjappa, and ZTV invited me to present that award. This is another case, I must mention it to you. There's in 2011 itself, a senior IPS IFSA, Indian Air Force officer, telephoned to me. He said, Mr. Hegde, 3 days back, my older brother's 18-year-old daughter is killed in a road accident. Her body is in a government hospital in Bengaluru. 3 days, post-mortem is not done. We have kept an ambulance for the last 3 days to send the body to Hyderabad. We are all old people, we can't come together there. So our last rites are not done. Please help us. So I said, I'll call back in a couple of hours. I went to the hospital. The superintendent met him and asked him, what's happening? Then he said, no, it can't happen. This hospital gets 3 to 4 dead bodies every day. And there are accidents, suicide, murder cases and all. So I've deputed 2 doctors to do the post-mortem. Let's call the doctors and find out why it is not done. So he sent his peon. Out of 2, 1 came. He addressed the superintendent. What's the hurry, sir? Body is not decaying. Am I to treat the living patients first? Or examine a dead body? And the superintendent said, who allowed you to go to the main building to treat a living patient? You are deputed to the post-mortem ward. There must be dozens of bodies lying down there. He said, yeah, maybe so. But then a person came from the main building, requested me to go to the main building to treat his relative because other doctors are not treating him properly. So I asked him, doctor, did you know this patient or his relative who came to you? No, it's the first time. I said, now I understand. There are 35 doctors in the main building of different disciplines. So why should they come to you when there were so many doctors? You could have gone and asked one of them there itself. But you say they came all the way to the post-mortem ward. Now I know what it is and all. Then I'll wait here until the post-mortem is done and the body is put in the ambulance. I waited there, post-mortem was done, the body was put in the ambulance and sent to Hyderabad. Imagine what sort of people are we. We think in terms of ourselves beyond nothing. My dear students, it's your future, your children's future. I am doing it, I know during my lifetime it won't change. But I think trying is my duty and not waiting for result. In that thing, I request you all to re-examine your day-to-day life and see how better you can be in life. Merely becoming rich, merely going to a top job by various means, I don't think will ever bring you happiness. I'm prepared to interact with you. Good? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What an enlightening and eye opening talk. You have just heard from our chief guest. Thank you so much, sir. Now, this is an interaction program, and I know many of you have questions for Justice Hegde. The floor is now open for your questions. You may proceed with any kind of inquiries or questions that you feel to ask, sir.
Sir, I have a question. Yes.
Please raise your hand.
Sir, yes.
Oh, you. Okay.
Sir, it's been 11 years since Lokpal was introduced in Karnataka, but it's reported that there were no proper investigation officers, shortage of officers. So who should be the reason? What is the...
It's not 11 years. The Act was passed in 1984, and the first Lokayukta was appointed in 1986. Unfortunately, I am using the word deliberately with all responsibility. The judge was brought from Punjab as if there was no other judges from Karnataka. I am not a parochialist or this thing. But Lok Ayukt means people's officer. It was, the institution was started because there was no proper investigation into two errors that were there in administration. That is, one is greed leading to corruption, and the other is in lack of humanism. Therefore, in 1972, then the Administrative Reforms Commission made a recommendation to Government of India and the state governments that an independent body should be created to attack this corruption and maladministration, and that should be not from the local people, in the sense it should not be from the politicians, or it should not be from the administrative section. It should be somebody else, preferably retired judges, they said, and all. But nobody really implemented it because they knew they themselves will be in trouble if they appoint such a commission of inquiry and all that. In 82, there was an intended election in Karnataka. Then one new political party called Janata Party in its political manifesto said, if you appoint, if you elect as a government and as the duty, then we will create the Lokayukta body in Karnataka. Whatever may be the reason, that party came for power, but for 1 year they didn't do anything. Then people started asking questions, what happened to your promise of creating the Lokayukta? So they created a Lokayukta with very good powers to the Lokayukta, I think. But they brought a man from Punjab. The reason is, one of the biggest problem people had who did not know Kannada or did not know English was to approach an officer and explain their problems to them. In their mother tongue. And these people, being a retired judge and first time getting into this office, did not know the duties of the office. Every time a complainant came, they said, you go to that man, that officer. I won't talk to you, like that. So there was no interaction between the two. This happened from 86 to 2000. There were 3 Lokayuktas for a term of 5 years each, and nobody knew, as a matter of fact, what exactly is happening in the Lokayukta. For the second time, first time they brought was in 2000, in 1995, they brought somebody, this was a local, but he had cancer, he never came to the office and all. Then one Mr. Venkatachala came in 2001. He really showed the people of Karnataka what Lokayukta can do. He went himself on raids, he answered questions to the public by himself, and made the institution that this is an existing institution which can help a lot of people who suffer because of maladministration. But then, as has been said, there was not enough people, officers given to investigate, because number of investigation cases increased a lot. That number what was already given was not enough. So he also had his deficiencies, difficulties in dealing with the matter. After he retired, I came into the thing. I was the Advocate General of Karnataka when this bill was introduced. I knew the object of the act and how it functions. That's why I resigned for another job in Delhi. Then I came here. First condition I put was that I should be given enough officers to deal with the thing. I said, here are officers, whomsoever you want, you send it and all. But they were sending only people they didn't want it there. They happened to be very good officers when they came here. The same thing happened with me and all, and that's why the new officers were given. But after I retired, in 2000, I retired in 2011, 2014, they took away one of the powers of investigating corruption against the public servants and appointed a new body, which is the police department, to investigate. That, of course, is now set aside by the High Court. The Lokayukta has got the full powers back and all. Yes, you are right. It was not there for some time when sufficient officers were not there, but it is there now.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಹೇಮಾವತಿ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸರ್. ನನ್ನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದು, ಈಗ KPSCಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರದ ವಿಚಾರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಹಿರಂಗವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒಂಥರ ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ.
KPSCಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸರ್ವರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದ ವಿಚಾರ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಲಂಚ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದವರು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕರಾಗಿರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿಲ್ರಿ, ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾಜದ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ಇಂಥ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾನೂನು ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು 50-55 ವರ್ಷ ಬೇಕು ಆತನಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಯಾರು ಹೆದರ್ತಾರೆ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ನ್ಯೂನತೆ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನ್ಯೂನತೆ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಮತ ಹಾಕುವಾಗ ಕಾಸು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಸು ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ. ಕಾಸು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಗೆದ್ದು ಬಂದ ಅಂಥ ಜನತಾ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಾದ? ಇವಾಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಅಡಚಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಿವೆ. ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಚಣೆ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದುರಾಸೆ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೇನಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನಿಗೇನಿದೆ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಕೇನಿದೆ, ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೇನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಭಾಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಮೊದಲು ನನಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ? ಅದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ 40%. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ 60% ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ 99% ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ತಮಾಷೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು? ಈ ದೇಶದ ದುರ್ಗತಿ ಯಾವ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾರಣ. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಧೈರ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಿರ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇದ್ದದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಸಂತಸ ಪಡೆಯುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಗುಣ, ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಭಾಯಿಸುವಂಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಗೀಸೆ ಇರದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಭಾಯಿಸುವಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದವರು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆಡಳಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಹಣ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಹುದ್ದೆನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರದ್ದು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರದ್ದು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ, ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ಒಬ್ಬರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಏನು ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, MLAಗಳು, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರುಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ನಾನು TV ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಯಾರೋ ಎಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜರನ್ನು ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಥ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಾಡುವವರು, ಅದು ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರನ್ನು ನಂಬೋದು ಇವತ್ತು? ಇದು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಪದ ಬೇಕಂತಲೇ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. ಈ ದುರಾಸೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ದಾರಿ, ನೀವು ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಂಬುವುದಿದ್ರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ನಂಬುವುದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾನವೀಯತೆ ಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜಣ್ಣ ಅಂತ, ಕನ್ನಡ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಸೊ ಭಾರತ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತ್ರಿಭಾಷಾ ಸೂತ್ರದ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಹಿಂದಿ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಭಾಷೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬಲವಂತವಾಗಿ ಹೇರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ವಿಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಣದ ಸೂತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಧಿಕಾರದ ವಿಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಣ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಒಂದು ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಅಂತ.
ಈ ತ್ರಿಭಾಷೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೋ ಮೂರನೇ ಭಾಷೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಎರಡು ಭಾಷೆಯ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿ ರಾಜ್ಯವೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಡಳಿತ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಅಲ್ಲದವರು ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಇದ್ದವರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕನ್ನೋ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ದ್ವಿಭಾಷಾ ಇದಿತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟರವರೆಗೆ. ಎರಡನೇದ್ದು, ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಬರೀ ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಇಲ್ಲದಂಥ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ತ್ರಿಭಾಷೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಭಾಷೆಯ ದುರ್ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಅನ್ನೋರು ಭಾಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ನಡುವೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಾಷೆಯ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ, ಧರ್ಮದ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ. ಈ ಎರಡು ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮೇ ಇದು. ಈ ಧರ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ದೇಶದ ದುರ್ಬಳಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಭಾಷೆ ಬೇಕು, ಮೂರನೇ ಭಾಷೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟದ ವಿಚಾರ. ಎರಡು ಭಾಷೆ ಬೇಡ. ಮತ್ತು ಡಿಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ನನಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಈಗ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಸನ್ನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬಲಾಢ್ಯರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳ ನಾಶ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳ ನಾಶ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು? ಅಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ನ್ಯಾಯ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಸರ್?
ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆತ ಕಣ್ಣಾರೆ ಕಂಡಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ನಡೆದನ್ನು, ಅಥವಾ ಆತನಿಗೆ ಆ ಘಟನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ನಂಬಿದವನು, ಅವನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು? ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳುವುದು, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆಗೆ ಹೆದರಿ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕೊಡುವುದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳು. ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ನಮಗೆ ಆದ ಇದರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಹೊರತು ಕಾನೂನು ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟವನು ಹಿಂದೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೋ ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಅದು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಸ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ 10-15 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದರ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಕೂಡ ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳು ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಅದು ಆತನಿಗೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳು ಬರುವುದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದು 25-30 ವರ್ಷದ ನಂತರ ಏನೇನೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವನ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಒತ್ತಡ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಆಮಿಷಗಳನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಬಂದದ್ದು ಕಷ್ಟ. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೂ ರೆಡಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುವುದು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಮ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ, BA ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟು. ಹಾನೆಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ತುಂಬ ಆಪೋಸಿಷನ್ಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ.
ಅಮ್ಮ, ಇದು ಕಷ್ಟದ ಕೆಲಸ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ನಿಜ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸತ್ಯವಂತನಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಆತ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆದರಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾನು ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತನಾಗಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ, 3 ಜನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ವರದಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿದರು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂಥರದ ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಇದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೀಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಕಾನೂನು ಚೌಕಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥ ಸಂಪತ್ತಲ್ಲೇ ಸಂತಸ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹಣ ಬೇಡ. ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲೇ ಪಡೆದಂಥ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಧೈರ್ಯ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ದೂರ ಇರಬೇಕಾದೀತು ಹೊರತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಣಿಬಾರ್ದು, ಆ ಒತ್ತಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮಣಿಬಾರ್ದು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆದರಿಕೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆದರಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರು ಏನಾದರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೋದು.
I hope that everyone received satisfactory answers to all your questions. Thank you so much, sir.
I just want one more thing. ನಾನು ನಿವೃತ್ತನಾದ ದಿವಸ ಅಂದಿನ DGP ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಣಿ ವರದಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಕರಾರಾಗಿದೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋ ನನಗೆ ಏನೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬೇಸರ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಸರ ಪಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದವರು ಯಾರು? ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಅವರು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಬೇಡ, ಏನೇ ಹಣ ಬರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅದು ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಕೂಡ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ನವ್ರು ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾನೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾನೇ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಚರ್ ಲೌಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತೇನೆ, VIP ಲೌಂಜ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಇದನ್ನು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆಲ್ಲ ಊರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ಸು.
Sir, I have one last question. Yeah. Thank you for all your suggestion and direction regarding greed and humanity and things like that. As we all know, India is a country which has versatile and ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ, and we have a rich history, right? Starting from Rama, Lakshmana, and all that stuff. Now we have reached a stage where corruption, as you mentioned, we have reached the peak of the corruptions. Now at this point in time, what can be the solution, sir? Like, until unless people understand that the corruption will lead to the bad end, right? People have to change, right? And today we are in a educational institution. Is it that only the education institution has to change to inculcate this into the people's mind, or is there any other suggestion based on your experience which has to be implemented so that we come out of this problem? Because if I understand correctly, India was contributing to more than 50% of the GDP, say 2000, approximately 1000 years back, but today here we are. So what is your opinion and suggestion, sir? Thank you.
ಇದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಇವಾಗ you cannot change what is happening today by enforcing any type of stricter law. People are not afraid of law or going to jail. Today, as I said, people go to jail, take a bail and come out. Thousands of people go and receive them. They have got more honor than ordinary people in this country. That shows how deep our moral standard has come down into the thing, So I don't think law can change, not for this reason only, but other reason is, in today's this thing, I got the documents in my phone and all. People get the final verdict of a court from the Supreme Court after 45 years, 50 years. ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಲಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರ ಹೆದರಿಕೆನಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಮದುವೆಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಒಬ್ಬರು ಅವರನ್ನು ದೂರ ಇಡಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದವ್ರನ್ನ ದೂರ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ರಿ ಅವರೊಬ್ಬರೇನ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದದ್ದು, ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಎಂಥ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಎಂಥ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದದ್ದು ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಹೋದದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ದೇಶದ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಹೋದದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಹೋದದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಂತ ಲಾಭಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಮೀರಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಕೆಲವರು ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬರೀ 27% ಕನ್ವಿಕ್ಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ. 100%ಅಲ್ಲಿ 27% ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕನ್ವಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಳ್ಳರಾದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಮೌಲ್ಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಎಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಏನು. ಆತನನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಇರುವುದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಇಂಥವರು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜನರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಅವರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರಬೇಕು? ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ, ಆ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಂಥ ಮೌಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮರು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಮಾಜ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ 525 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ 200 ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಟ್ಟು ಸದಸ್ಯರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಎಂಥ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು? ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. You don't have to create yourself as somebody who is Mahatma Gandhi. You be yourself what you are. Don't indulge in this. Don't cultivate friendship with people who have the wrong desires or who have been convicted. I've lived that life. Whatever, anything can happen, but I believe in one thing, Kesara, Sara, whatever will be, the future is not yours to see. But you have to be honest, you have to be a clean person. What are the acquisitions are coming now? Honey traps. Who isn't involved in it? Ministers are involved, MLAs are involved, judges are involved. And you have the courage to say, Nan Sri Ramanalri, ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಾಗ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಲ್ತಾರೆ. The only way out is to inculcate these values. Then again comes, who will inculcate it, what stage? If it is inculcated when you are a youngster, you will understand. But one who is inculcating must be free from all those evils. ಅದು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಆತನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ತಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದನ್ನು ನೀನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಪಠ್ಯ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ ಮೌಲ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಅಂತ ಇದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಬೇಕಂತಾರೆ, ಆದರೆ ಧರ್ಮ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಅವ್ರ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮದವ್ರಿಗೂ ಈ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಯಾವ ಗ್ರಂಥವನ್ನು ತೆಗೀರಿ. ಆದರೆ ಪಾಲಿಸುವವರು ಇವತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಖುಷಿ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಖುಷಿಗೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ಡ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲಿವ್ ದಟ್. You can choose whichever way you want. And once you are happy with what you have legitimately, then all other things goes aside. And the first stage is when the child understands what is right and wrong, the value should be inculcated.
Thank you once again, sir, answering our extended questions too. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. N. Subrahmanya, sir, Honorable President, N.E.S. of Karnataka, to deliver the presidential address.
respected chief guest, Sri Santhosh Hegde ji, and all other dignitaries on the dais, and also off the dais, college lecturers and students, my dear students. You have heard of a very good speech with Mr. Santhosh Hegde ji. He has explained all probabilities of mischiefs done by the great people of who are ruling us. He has also suggested a few problems to be solved by means of our interference, but we are not able to solve it. We are not even ready to face such problems because we are in such society, amidst such society which is full of corruption, which is full of nepotism and corruption and all like that. So I feel very sorry to express this before him. My dear graduates, today marks a proud milestone in this institution established in 1945. Has nurtured generations of leaders, innovators and change makers with a legacy rooted in academic excellence and holistic development. It has made significant contributions to Karnataka and the nation, producing luminaries in science, literature, politics and culture. You graduate at a time when the world is evolving at an unprecedented pace. Rapid advancement in technology, globalization, and the focus of sustainability are transforming industries and redefining social needs. From artificial intelligence to clean energy, the opportunities and the challenges before you are immense. To thrive in this dynamic environment, embrace lifelong learning, adaptability, and also innovations. While the knowledge you have gained here is invaluable, it is your ability to think critically, solve problems, and lead with empathy that will set you apart. The world needs responsible leaders who can drive changes while holding on to values like integrity, perseverance, and inclusivity. As an ambassador of the National College, you carry the responsibility of understanding its legacy. Be contributors to the great good, whether through science or public service, culture, or entrepreneurship. Let your endeavors be guided by a vision for a more equitable and sustainable world. On behalf of the management of the college, I extend heartfelt congratulations to you and to your families. May you find success and fulfillment in all your pursuits and have the courage to lead with purpose and passion. Remember this as just the beginning. Go forth and make a difference. Thanking you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insightful words. Now I call upon Professor Chaluappa, Secretary of the College Council, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege and honor to extend the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. On behalf of the National College Jayanagar, and particularly the Department of Journalism, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Justice Sri N. Santhosh Hegde for gracing us with his presence and sharing his invaluable insights. His words of wisdom, drawn from years of dedicated service to justice and ethics, have undoubtedly inspired us all. I extend my respectful thanks to our President, Dr. N. Subrahmanya, who has graciously led us today's program with wisdom and clarity. I extend our sincere thanks to our respected Honorary Secretary of N.E.S, Sri V. Venkateshiva Reddy, sirs. Sir's insight and dedication to our institution's mission are truly inspiring. I extend our sincere thanks to Dr. P.L. Venkatrama Reddy, Chairman, the National College, Jayanagar, for his unwavering support and guidance. I thank Sri Kumaramurthy, Governing Council Member, Dr. Jaydevappa, Principal, Dr. H.N. National College of Engineering, Professor Mamata S., Principal, the National PU College, for gracing the occasion. A special thanks to Dr. Vaishali H.B. and the Department of Journalism in making this interaction possible. Our deepest gratitude goes to all the students and faculty members whose enthusiastic participation made this program truly engaging. Dear students, your curiosity and thought-provoking questions enrich today's interaction. Lastly, I thank our technical staff, Sri Asif Iqbal, for making this program glitch-free. Once again, I thank everyone for your contribution and commitment. Let us take inspiration from today's interaction and continue to uphold the values of truth, integrity, and justice in our personal and professional life. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your kind support. Finally, thank you, Chalvappa, sir, once again for your kind support. I would also like to thank Dr. C. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, Principal of National College, Jayanagar.
I extend our appreciation to our principal for her guidance and support in organizing this meaningful event.
Finally, now, I request journalism students to join us for a group photo with our esteemed honorable chief guest, the students of Journalism Department. Asif sir help tawon. Thank you everyone for being here today. Have a fantastic Tuesday.